Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker is said to not only have connections to the prequel trilogy and the original trilogy, but also Star Wars Rebels and other forms of canon material that falls under the Disney Star Wars universe. This is Mike Zero. If you guys are new to the channel, do make sure to subscribe to see future Star Wars content. So one great thing about Episode 9 that a lot of people are really excited about is to see exactly how JJ is going to use all of these different connections and exactly how that's going to be applied to some of the characters such as Rey and Kylo Ren in order to evolve them as characters and to make them progress from start to finish of this movie. And as you all know, Disney and Lucasfilm are in fact using Episode 9 as a course correction of the Star Wars franchise in order to really get things right before they begin to focus on the new Star Wars trilogy by, of course, other creators out there such as David Benioff and D.B. Weiss. Now, these past couple of weeks or so, we've been learning a whole lot more about this film, and when it all comes down to one of the concept art descriptions, this is where things begin to get very exciting for the characters of Rey and Ahsoka Tano. Now, specifically, a description of Rey traveling into the Lost City, where it's described that she is heading for a location dubbed as the Land of Warriors, which is a place full of ancient and recent Jedi statues. The next describes Rey coming across what is described to be the statue of Ahsoka Tano, where her statue is said to be around 50 feet high. Rey takes a step forward where she opens a large compartment of the statue, where many relics and artifacts are found that Ahsoka left behind, one of which is the staff of Ahsoka that she claimed as hers sometime after the events of the original trilogy era, where the staff is described to contain ancient Jedi and Sith language, etched into the metal where it glows in a gold color once Rey touches it. It said that eventually once Rey brings the staff on board of the Tantive IV, that C-3PO attempts to decipher the ancient language, and is able to only translate some of the words, where parts of the meaning of the staff are related to the location of a Jedi temple that holds great power. It's implied that this is what leads Rey to the Jedi Temple where she eventually meets the Force ghost of Luke Skywalker. So I want to go over a couple of parts about this. Now, in case you guys have, been out of the loop and are just tuning in right now, we actually have been going over the Land of Warriors for a very long time now. It's actually said to be this graveyard, if you will, of ancient Jedi statues and, of course, Jedi that once lived many years ago before the events of the prequel trilogy. So it also goes over some of the recent Jedi like Ahsoka Tano, and one of which actually involves the statue of Ahsoka, which is said to stand roughly 50 feet high in comparison to Rey, where she opens a compartment inside that statue and discovers this ancient staff that Ahsoka discovered sometime after the events of the original trilogy, and eventually placed it within the Lost City. So what I like about this staff, though, is how this is very heavy on Jedi lore, something that J.J. Abrams really is tapping into here with Episode 9 in order to really make the Skywalker saga feel fulfilled when it comes to Force-related content as well as Jedi and Sith-related content as well. So this staff, it's said to have ancient language written and etched into the metal that consists of both Jedi and Sith language from the ancient times. Now, I don't know about you guys, but this to me is very intriguing because this tells us that this staff once belonged to both an ancient Jedi and Sith, since there is writing of both the ancient Jedi and Sith on this staff, that eventually glows in a gold color once Rey touches it. Now, we heard about Rey's staff, or should I say Ahsoka Tano's staff, very lightly a couple of months ago. We talked about this. We didn't really know too much about it or how it would be involved in the story. But Ahsoka Tano's staff is actually said to have a deep connection to, of course, both Jedi and Sith lore, and now we fully understand as to exactly why that was. And that's because the writing on the staff is actually said to be the ancient language of the Jedi and the Sith that eventually leads to the location of a specific Jedi temple that is supposed to hold great power. Now, this is all deciphered by C-3PO, which is honestly a very interesting touch and side of a Star Wars film. We actually got a little hint of this being a thing in the Poe Dameron comics, where the C-3PO character is translating the ancient Jedi text to Rey. Now he's translating the ancient Jedi and Sith writing, right, on of course, this staff to Rey that leads to the location of a Jedi temple that holds great power. Now, this most likely is the same exact Jedi temple that we have been going over for a couple of months now, in which Rey meets with the Force ghost of Luke Skywalker. Keep in mind, it's not in the Lost City. It's a totally different location and likely toward the end of the movie. So the whole entire aspect of Ahsoka Tano having connections in episode 9 definitely does make a lot of sense as to why J.J. Abrams has been in a lot of discussions and talks with, of course, Dave Filoni, who was the showrunner, by the way, of Star Wars Rebels, the animated TV series. Now, the biggest question of all, guys, is this a good idea, or is this like a good or a bad idea in order to implement all these different Easter eggs that are related to animated TV series characters, such as Ahsoka Tano and Ezra Bridger? A lot of people have been expressing, their concern and their mixed reactions on using such Easter eggs and appearances of these characters in some way, shape, or form that may, kind of not fit well into a Skywalker saga movie. I, however, think it's a great idea and a step in the right direction. I think it's a perfect plan by JJ and Chris Terrio in order to really interconnect everything together. So anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.